LINSHIDONG and KUAIMAN.
And here they come. In any other context, the world number ones, the best mixed double pairing out there, LINSHIDONG and KUAIMAN would be the talking point. But you just saw the smiling 61-year-old from Luxembourg make her way out here. And of course, we're talking there about one of these stories of any tournament she plays in, LIAN. And she's going to be partnered by LUKA MLADENOVIC. Remarkably, there are 3 players involved in this doubles matchup, which will be the best of 5, whose combined age is 65. The 4th player in this quartet is 61 years old. How about that? Here's the tale of the table between the two who've dominated mixed doubles in recent times. The 19 and 20-year-old LINSHIDONG and KUAIMAN, and the Luxembourg pairing here, who have got a bit about them individually, and of course when they team up as a doubles pairing. Tale of the table will tell us this: it's the first ever meeting between the two. No great surprise about that. But as we check in on Chetia Ratnakala, we have to say it's a grand smash with a grand dame of table tennis about to take to the table. They're coming in for the toss there. Fraser Riley's been doing an amazing job all day long so far, and I know that this one has got his juices flowing. He's going to give us absolutely max when it comes to talking about a player he knows very well, actually, the 61-year-old from Luxembourg. So Fraser's about to get going. Let's just make sure that the players get the toss underway, and then they will be setting out to entertain the Infinity Arena fans.
I have red and blue. Blue is for Mladenovic and Ney, and red for Lin and Kuai. It's blue. Receive.
Okay, so they just make sure that they're all comfortable. Look at the sides of Mladenovic there in terms of his towering over the rest of them here. Fraser, great to have you with us. I know that there's so much about this one to look forward to, and you have to start off, of course, with the woman who back in 2002 was a top 10 player in the world, 61 years young. And it's not a novelty act. This is a woman who, as we saw when she only just went down to Chen Xingye in the singles, has still got so much game.
That makes it even more interesting, doesn't it? Great to be with you, John. I'm like a kid in a candy store. LIAN, a traditional penhold pimple player, with LUKA MLADENOVIC, a long pimple player with inverted on both sides, against the best doubles partnership in the world. This is fascinating, this is exciting, and more than anything, this is inspiring to anyone who is involved in sport.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And the amazing thing, as we take a little look at KUAIMAN and LINSHIDONG, and understandably so, looking good in that Team China livery as well, we must say, is that you got the right, you got the left. You can understand why they do so much and why they win so much. And if you just select recent appearances by them, then you've got wins in Muscat, the Asian Championship as well, China Smash. So we know all about their pedigree. But then you've got not just the penhold, you've got the traditional penhold, the left hand, and then you've got the rangy figure of Mladenovic as well. That's what makes this Luxembourg pairing so exciting.
It doesn't get any more unorthodox than this, and with China, it doesn't get any more textbook than this. And that is going to make for very interesting viewing over the next half an hour.
Very nicely put, sir. So that is the one we have for you. Let's have a little look at what they're playing on here. I've got to say the staging for this has been fabulous so far, Fraser. It really just feels very, very good, this Smash livery.
It does, you know, the glitz and glamour, the razzmatazz. As we can see, this guy's come prepared, hasn't he? Goodness me, you could sell that phone case and it'd pay for the prize money.
Memo to us, pulling up your phones a bit more. I think that's what we take away from that. But as they knock up here, what we do need to, of course, remind everybody is that this is no exhibition. This is a serious part of this competition. Waiting for the winner of this one, incidentally, in the quarterfinals, will be Cho Da-sung and Shin Yu-bin, who were very impressive earlier on today. Hey, how about that fan vote? 36% going with the Luxembourgers, which I think would surprise most of us. But it's that unpredictable factor that we really hope, certainly for the neutrals, comes out to play.
First game, quite to serve, love all. One, love. One, all.
One apiece, and here she is on serve. Just tell us a little bit more. Let's give the audience a bit more. She was winning medals in 1983, is that right?
Oh, he nearly gets that one, LIAN, but yeah, that's correct, John. 1983 World Table Tennis Championships. She won the team and mixed doubles for China. Unbelievable how it's sort of come full circle for her in a way.
And then, of course, on leaving China, and she initially went to Germany and then ended up in Luxembourg 6 times at the Olympics. 6 times.
It's incredible. I think she's right up there with Segun Toriola from Nigeria. He's played a lot as well. And it's just so inspiring that she can still play to this level so consistently. I mean, you mentioned that she nearly beat the former Singapore Smash finalist Chen Yi in singles in the last round, and she defeated Wang Yidi a few years ago as well, 2021 in Budapest.
Yeah, she's got the pedigree. So that's the backstory, and of course anyone who follows the game closely will know the story, but those who are new to it, well, it's just a fabulous thing that's happening. In terms of her adaptability and mobility, she did say even a few years back that she knows where she wants to go. The legs don't quite get there as quickly as they need be, but in terms of guile, that's what she brings here, isn't it?
She does, and an ability to anticipate and think in advance, read the game so well. That's what you never lose.
Just trying to get those legs going. I know that feeling.
She scampers around, LIAN.
Oh. 4-all.
And there'll be a deep respect from KUAIMAN and LINSHIDONG towards LIAN. Conflict of interest, really, when you're up against her as a Chinese star.
Drills it through the middle, and of course the Luxembourg pair then have to communicate. But there's no room for sentiment, though. Now, they're professional, these guys, and they're going to look to exploit whatever they can.
Look at that. That is absolutely loaded. He played the backhand from the forehand side with the long pips. LINSHIDONG span into it, and it reverses it. It comes back absolutely butchered with backspin. It hit the table before it hit the net. And that's KUAIMAN trying to hit that.
Yep. And then the Luxembourg pair sent scrambling as they drop that point. But you can see how competitive this one is already.
There is in the local league a saying called all the gear and no idea. But I tell you what, the equipment has such an impact in table tennis. Especially the pimples. They disturb the rhythm. They reverse the spin. You've got to think in advance, which you might not have to do as much if you're up against a more orthodox style.
Seven, 6.
He's started very well, MLADENOVIC.
He's a fine player, and he's been getting some very good results recently in the German Bundesliga as well, taking down some of the top names in that league, which is the strongest league in Europe. So we know he's really improving. He's 26 years old.
Well, it was Nee who made the very important block there to set up that point win and draw things up at 7 apiece.
Comes down from above against that topspin, LIAN.
Seven, 8.
And he misses.
8-all.
And we're at 8-all again here. Where does the break come in this one? It's very, very tight. Celebration from LIAN then. Very vocal.
9-8. 8.
But that just gave him too much to do, Mladenovic there. 9-8 to the Chinese pair.
Well, if you know that Mladenovic is going to receive serve with his backhand pips, the best serve you can probably do to him is short backspin or long float or backspin, because otherwise if you serve topspin into it, it's going to come back straight backspin. You've got to think about that, really.
And on the KUAIMAN serve, it's now 2 game points for the Chinese pair.
Nice flick, but there's that. Backhand.
And again, the fighting qualities of the Luxembourg pair on show, though. LUKA Mladenovic kept them in that point, and they stay in the game.
Interesting rally, bamboozling the Chinese.
Ni Xiaolian with both points won on serve to level things up at 10 apiece.
Brilliant. He used the pimples on the forehand, Mladenovic. So unusual, but so effective there against LINSHIDONG.
Have the Chinese pair ever confronted anything like this? You got to doubt it. Now
Yeah.
they're looking at maybe surrendering the first game.
In answer to your question, I was going to say only if they've played them before.
Which they haven't.
So no.
And they win it. Joy from Mladenovic. The Luxembourg pair take down the highly fancied Chinese in game 1. Long way to go just yet, but this was why we've been building this one up all day long. This is why we've been building up to this one. This one promised a lot, and on the evidence that first game, it's delivering already. 12-10 in the first to Ni and Mladenovic.
He was ready for this one, you know. So then you take very.
Let's just keep the theme going with the Hong Kong team, Wong Chun-Ting and Do Hei Kem, the second seeds getting through, Yu and Nagasaki, 3 games to love. So pretty much expected from the Smash Arena there. As we check in on the mixed doubles competition. And then Gardosh and Pokonova against Bei and 11-5 in the third, they get through. And that is, again, probably a result we would have expected. Now we start turning our attention to what might just happen in this draw. But before that, let's have a look at the rankings, because we're seeing the 3rd ranked KUAIMAN and LINSHIDONG in action right now, just in terms of points. As far as this particular event is concerned, well, they're on paper the best that are here, and they're trailing to a pair that you won't find on this list. That's what we love about this sport, isn't it? Now, all sentiment aside, let's pick apart what's happening in terms of what the Luxembourg team's getting right. Resilience is something that we've seen on show.
Yeah, I mean, they're up against such a disturbing style, particularly from Mladenovic, who is just turning topspin into backspin, backspin into floats, and he's got that forehand as well. I mean, look how he faded across that to finish it. He's got a swag to his game.
Yeah, and he's going to step across and he's going to pulverize those. Ni more than happy to move aside.
1-2.
It's just a mental barrier, I would imagine, for these 2 brilliant young Chinese players here when they see what they're confronting across the table, across the net.
And it brings about an interesting talking point, because there are so many players in China who use long pips, who use penhold grip, pimples in different styles. There are players, I bet, in China, club players, that could challenge some of the world's best players because of how unusual.
But look at that mobility from Ni then. She's got across the table, into the table, and she knew how big of a point that was. But you spoke about inspiration earlier on. That point just now, look at the way she celebrated it. She celebrated that as if she was a teenager. That's why she's still playing at 61.
She's found A new reason to fight, to play, and to inspire more than anything now than what she even could when she was representing China. It's outstanding. Can't get enough of her. Oh, that's brilliant.
Power.
That was about time that LINSHIDONG could clobber a ball like that, because the Chinese have found themselves having quite a lot of time on balls that they've ended up missing. Bit of frustration behind that one, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that. He's just let a bit of steam off there, hasn't he? Oh, nearly. So nearly. The power play from the men. And then Ni almost able to just somehow will that over the net. Very smart from KUAIMAN.
As you can see, they're trying to get it as wide into that MLADENOVIC forehand as possible. Get it away from those pips. Yeah, great receive. What about the service now from Ni LIAN? It's a good one.
And it's good to draw them level. Just, you know, more backstory for you. You know, from all accounts, she's now doing commercial deals as well. You know, at this age of 61, I think if you're in China anytime soon, you're going to start seeing her face popping up on different brands, and that in itself is remarkable. She's inspirational in so many ways. How about that? That's probably the best we've seen so far.
On top of every single ball with great timing, not giving away with the foremotion where he's going to go, MLADENOVIC, and neither did Ni LIAN.
The shape he got LINSHIDONG into there, we don't see that very often. Yeah, it goes, and that tells you what she expected from that.
She said, Ni LIAN, that she's made more money in the last 4 months than she has in her entire career. Just to add to the point of the brand deals that she's been getting.
And remember, we're talking about this across not just sport, across everything in life. People aging well with purpose.
Not going to miss that one.
And that was really well executed in the end from MLADENOVIC. Tough on the Chinese pair there. But they trail by a game, by a point in the second now.
This is huge. This is huge. Historic, no matter what happens. You can't afford to let your mind slip for a second because of what Lin and Kwai can do.
That's really well done, because there was deception on that ball that came back from Ni.
Yeah, she could have sent Kwai flying there, but brilliant composure from the youngster there. Oh, jammy.
Yeah. Sorry, she says she got it back, but she'll take the point because it draws them level at 8 apiece.
Long serve came. God knows how she made space for that. Kwai was flustered, understandably so. Can't prepare for that.
And that was there, you might argue, possibly even to be put away.
MLADENOVIC showing nice feeling with this chop block. LINSHIDONG reacted well with the re-chop. Ni LIAN dropped her back too much.
Well, again, the net came in, but he was left stretching. It's now 10-8. It's 2 game points for Lian and Kwai.
Look at that shot from LINSHIDONG.
That's off his shoelaces. So a chance to level things up. She's not getting that back. Hugs the ball to the chest, smiles ruefully, and drops the second game there as the Chinese pair come roaring back into this one.
God knows how she manufactured that angle from there, KUAIMAN. Trying to play it into Ni LIAN, who had just played her shot. Clever.
Yeah, the movement forward as well. Fabulous skill. But this is every bit as absorbing as we thought it might be. Let's just listen in and see what the young Chinese players are told to do.
你知道吗？可以短的这个球都不转，不要去挑，高门不挑你放慢，啪就一个。你只要抢那个点，对，不用挑，这个就玩他一个飘，就是不转。然后他磕的球是转，你看那高牛角球不球，罚就完，就是两个人的罚球。
Oh, when we look at the winners, let's have a look at the landing points for both of these ball placement for both of these pairs. Just looking to see, there we are, a little bit of movement at the back of the table there in terms of footwork.
Yeah, you'll probably see a bit more movement from MLADENOVIC and LIAN in terms of how much they need to pivot. But it's been more patient, that performance there from KUAIMAN and LINSHIDONG, and you know you've got two prospects when Xiao Zhan, the coach there in the corner, gets involved. He's always employed to help create Grand Slam champions.
Yes, some instructions are coming the way there of Xiao Zhan. I'm going to get your take in a little bit on the coach in the other end of the table here, because thereby hangs a great story. There he is. Listen to LINSHIDONG. He's at it now. He's noisy. He's dominated.
And Lian's husband, Tommy Danielsson, legend for Sweden.
He's coaching, right?
He's coaching. Genius of the sport. He had the best backhand in the world on his day. In fact, Team China asked, apparently, Tommy Danielsson to come over to teach them how to play the modern backhand. How about that for a flex?
Yeah. Well, his wife's out there doing it for Team Luxembourg right now, and they get themselves on the board in this third game.
Did MLADENOVIC just play a topspin backhand?
Looks like it.
He twiddled and he played a normal backhand. LINSHIDONG looks back to Xiao Zhan as if to say, hang on a minute, that wasn't in the prep book.
He's pulling all the shots out.
It's unbelievable.
And he's having fun. And maybe that's the knee factor. She's empowering him.
Yeah, I think she is. She really is.
4-1.
Just telling him there, just try and spin it. Keep playing with rotation. You're not going to outspeed Lin and Kwai. Got to try and ruffle their feathers with variation.
1-5.
Again there.
No.
You could call that an unnecessary mistake. Obviously it's a lottery shot. If it goes down, we're praising him, but don't need to be making those kind of risks so early in the rally.
Yeah, and there you go. Like, he's getting some on-court coaching there, and she's seen everything there is to see in this sport. Of course, what you won't see from her is that punishing pace, but the placement and the sheer nous is there to see.
Her placement's awesome. And she uses her peripheral vision as well. She can break a pattern.
But she's set running there. And anyone half her age would have struggled to get anywhere near that.
Yeah, that's too good. Great counter from Kwai. Brace for impact, used the pace, didn't need much ball motion.
Yeah. They're just beginning to find the angles now, aren't they? Kwai and Lin.
What they're doing well is just sending the ball long 60-70% without too much quality. Lin and Kwai. Look at the score now. This is much better.
Yeah, it's a 6-point advantage, and they're comfortably on top now.
2-9.
That now becomes 2-9, and there's a purpose in the stride and the play of LINSHIDONG. brilliantly down the middle. An apology then from a player who didn't really need to apologise there, because that was going to go past just about anybody. That.
Yeah, didn't make life too easy for MLADENOVIC with the touch, though. Doesn't matter.
4-10.
4-10. They are still staring at 6 game points against. And a bit of zip there from the 61-year-old.
MLADENOVIC served with topspin. Was misread slightly, and LIAN right there over the top to pounce.
That time, though, she can't get it back. Just cramped up on that penhold. And that means the third game goes the way of the Chinese pair, who are beginning to do what we pretty much expected them to do, but far earlier on in this match. 2-1 they lead.
长球的下去，假的，根本就没有球，知道吗？哎，短球他们还有会活一下，长球下去他们两个人都不会，所以说接发球没有压力。这个球要么哎看准了飞上，看不准。
Check it in here on the table as what's been happening in terms of the placement of winners from LINSHIDONG and KUAIMAN. We saw plenty of them as they take out the third game, sending their opponents just about everywhere.
Yeah, well, they're trying to keep it away from the MLADENOVIC pimple backhand. He just twiddled. We saw him even play the pimples on the forehand, but that is the right tactic as well. Just try and stretch them both out as far as they can and then take them out to the other side.
So we may not have much of this one left, and you have to keep remarking. I think this is probably as unlikely a pairing from Luxembourg as you might see, just in terms of age, background, size, the way they play. And it's been a lot of fun watching them, but can they keep this match alive now? They trail 2-1.
There's pressure here. I expect to see some variations in the service game from MLADENOVIC and LIAN. Win the first point. Came right through the back of the ball with the pips.
Yeah, chopped away there to this point there.
Float on the ball so he can do that. In the women's game, you have the likes of Shija Akula, Manika Batra, Mukherjee playing with pimples, but in the men's game, MLADENOVIC is one of the only ones using long pimples on the backhand. We saw in preparation for the Olympics, Wang Chuqin and Sun Ying-sha had to have the advice of Deng Yiping, former Grand Slam champion. She came in to help them prepare for these kind of combinations.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're prepared for this one today. Mentally, obviously, tactically, very much so.
3-2.
A little show of emotion there from LINSHIDONG. Every now and then he's just sought to really explode here.
KUAIMAN's been brilliant with her backhand. She is so stable. Nice flick from LINSHIDONG. Yeah.
And she hits on the move so well.
Yeah, she does. She never really looks that rushed. And her feet never seem to move that fast. So isn't that testament to how she's an old head on young shoulders? She knows where the ball's going.
Put away by the senior. Brilliantly. And those are reflexes that anyone will be proud of.
Well, there's something to be said for playing racket sports and how good it is for your mind. You know, table tennis for Alzheimer's, a big thing pushed by the ITTF group. Playing a racket sport reduces your chance of any degenerative mental disease by 80%.
Is that right?
That's right. Knee is as sharp as a knife, still to this day. Got to stay active, people.
I mean, obviously she was equipped for life with an incredible talent, a natural talent as well, but really a tribute to her that she's still got the control over the ball at this age as well. It's remarkable. Look at that. How is that served through there? It's the brain as well that's as sharp as ever. That's a fabulous example here of the variety she's trying to bring.
And MLADENOVIC saying there, super server. It's brilliant.
Left 5-all.
If he's anticipating topspin, MLADENOVIC will put the pips on the forehand. Let's see. Oh, lovely receive. Feeling.
And she gets it away again for 6-5 for the pair from Luxembourg.
So much going on. That strawberry chop of LINSHIDONG sat up like a baby in a high chair, and LIAN put it away.
And how about this? They are turning it on in the fourth. On the move here. LIAN. Bang!
That's how you do it. She was running into that and she carried that body weight into it.
Look at LINSHIDONG's face. He's not seen this too often.
So deep that flick, and LIAN has to stay close to the table with her style. She can't even go mid-distance. She has to hug the table.
Just hurried up by that.
Great receive from LINSHIDONG. Trying to chop like a defender. MLADENOVIC.
7-all. They're pulling out every shot in the book, this Luxembourg pair. Yeah, chopping from deep. And that's real pace, and that's what he's about. You have to remind yourself, of course, individually, LINSHIDONG was one of the rising forces in world table tennis. He would have eyes and designs, of course, on the men's #1 spot in terms of singles, and a reminder then of his all-round pace. Lovely. Look at that, just flared away off the penhold of LIAN. Brilliant.
The little shimmy that she does with the form motion can confuse the opponent. But she will always come, well, off those kind of serves through the back of the ball. It's just a question of where and how deep. Done well there, MLADENOVIC. He chops it.
Twice off the net, and she celebrates. What a rally, what a point. Did that clip the edge of the table?
Let's have a look. No, the last shot didn't. Fantastic rally.
And they lead 9-8 on the knee serve.
What a counter, what a block!
Oh, she can't get there. He left it to his partner, MLADENOVIC.
You can't blame him. He's throwing the kitchen sink at them. Somebody has to. Oh, how on earth has he read that? That is unbelievable.
Oh, the adjustment from LINSHIDONG.
God almighty.
Ties it up at 9 apiece. This is fabulous. Is it too much to ask for a fifth game here?
It's
Come
not
on.
too much to ask. Come on. Gotta see a fifth, surely.
There's only 2 people in this building who don't want that, maybe 3. And they're wearing that China kit out there.
I could watch this all day long.
Well, they hung in there until LINSHIDONG said enough. And with that, it's a match point for LIAN and Kuwait.
That was imperious. She got it back well. Nice chop as well. But that's how you finish it off, yeah. Not wide enough, wingspan.
And it's LINSHIDONG who gets the job done. Deep searching to the corner, and they know that they were put through a real challenge at times in this one, but living up to their billing as the favourites here in Singapore, at the Singapore Smash 2025. But if you weren't entertained by that, then, well, I'd be very, very surprised. So having dropped the first, it's 11-8, 11-5 and 11-9 at the end of an extraordinary contest here that really lived up to the billing, Fraser.
Oh, it really did, John. It was a pleasure to watch that with you there. One that I'll definitely be watching back. That'll be one of the smashback matches added to the archives for sure. And it will be, regardless of that, Cho Dae-Seong and Shin Yubin that will face KUAIMAN and LINSHIDONG. That was brilliant. That was fantastic. That might be the best match I've watched all events so far, and there's still so much to come.
Fabulous stuff, Fraser. Absolutely brilliant. And it's also done a lot of good for LINSHIDONG and KUAIMAN. If they're going to continue on their way, on the trajectory they're on, the lessons they'll have taken away from that today, valuable.
If I'm going to say anything right now, I reckon that match there against MLADENOVIC and LIAN is tougher than the match that they're going